Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to a new episode. We're back again, and we were just talking about how it feels like it was literally yesterday we were sitting in these very seats.
Yeah. It was almost a week ago.
Yeah.
But it feels like yesterday.
We're recording a day early. I think also it feels earlier because I've been really involved with the last episode, editing the video. I was just editing it yesterday, and I have to tell you guys, the AI software that we were using to zoom in is now making us have a watermark. So
it's annoying.
I know. So we got to find a different route. I mean, maybe there is an easy way to do it because we are paying for Adobe software. So there's got to be an easy way to do it through Adobe.
Yeah, there has to be some way.
So, hey, guys, listeners out there, if you know how to do the zoom in to the people and then show the two-person view on your screen.
Whoever's talking, it zooms into.
Podcasts. Yeah, let us know because I know how to do it the long way, but I feel like there's an easier way to do it.
There has to be.
So, yeah, how was your week, Allie?
It was good. Well, the weekend was fun. Friday, I went to this really fancy restaurant in Beverly Hills called Avra, and it's a seafood place, and one of my good friends is moving to Miami. He's moving in a few days, and so we had a goodbye dinner at Avra, and I had never been there before because I do not frequent Beverly Hills ever.
Does he live in West Hollywood?
No, he lives in Marina del Rey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But he works
West Side.
He works in Beverly Hills and stuff. So
I consider that all the same area. It's from Beverly Hills, from Westwood all the way down the coast, Santa Monica.
I know it kind of is.
It's the same vibe.
Same. Yeah. So we went there, and the restaurant was really, really fancy, and it was really cool. I feel like it would be a good birthday restaurant.
Yeah.
They have
yeah, you're thinking about what you want to do.
Yeah, but I don't think I can take people there. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
It was
yeah, Allie, I'm not trying to spend more than $50.
Listen,
That's
was
tops.
Me and Kadar each got a margarita, and then we got a fish soup each, and our bill was over $100 after tip.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
a soup and a margarita.
Yes. But the thing I liked about this place was they had this display of freshly caught fish in the front, and you could just walk up to it like a little fish market almost, and all the fish were on ice. And if you wanted to spend the money to do this, you could choose a fish that you want to eat, and they cook it for you right there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
kind of
but
sad though.
I know
That's some murderous thought. I wouldn't want that, Allie. That's problematic.
Well, I don't think so.
In Japan, there's these little places. I wanted to do this when I went to Japan, but there's these little places where they have tiny pools with the fish, the sushi fish that you can eat, and you actually fish for the fit with the rod and you catch it yourself and you can eat it.
Yeah. That's super fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one, there were some really cool looking fish, and I was like, if I had $70, I would tell them to cook that one up for me.
I would feel a little bad. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I thought I would feel bad too, but I don't know.
Fish are, for some reason we don't value the life of fish as much as we do.
It's because fishing is so common.
Well, so is hunting.
It's not, but I would go fishing. I would not go hunting.
Yeah, but what's the reason?
Right. It was cool. There was a scorpion fish. It looked really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Scorpion fish.
Yeah. And then, so after dinner, we went to the most LA fucking bar I've ever been to. And
Tenants of Trees?
No, even more LA than Tenants of the Trees. I've never been somewhere so LA, and I've been here for 8 years.
Well, we don't hang out on the west side very, very often, unless it's West Hollywood.
Well, this was downtown. This was downtown.
So you guys went from Beverly Hills to downtown.
This was in the Arts District.
You guys were bopping around.
We were bopping around. But I like this place because there's a little place to park for free.
What's it called?
Apothique.
I've heard of that place.
I had heard of it too, but it's a little witchy girl's dream.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. So you walk in and it's really, really pretty on the inside, but the whole vibe is like potions, formulas, like witchiness. Like the bartenders wear lab coats.
Are they women?
Most of them were women. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Some of them weren't though, but their cocktails, like we like walked, it was for a birthday party. We like walked in and everyone was drinking a cocktail. We were like, oh, what is that? They're like, I don't know. I mean, it has like ginseng and lemongrass and bee pollen in it. Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, okay. And then we asked someone else. I was like, is that a piece of kale as a garnish?
Oh my God, that is so LA. That is so
They were
LA.
using kale to garnish their drinks.
Just like bee pollen, like all of that is so
all
LA.
of it. And like we ordered a cocktail, which I gotta say it was really good, really good. I had like a coffee cinnamon type of cocktail, but they were also overwhelming because there's so many ingredients and so many things that like you would never put in a cocktail. You would put it in like a juice smoothie or something. Yeah. And so we were like, I don't know what to get. Like, I don't know. Like, but it was really good. It was just really expensive. But the vibe was really cool, and I was like, oh, this would be a cool birthday place. We got 2 cocktails, and after tip, it was like $45.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though, because it's like a really fancy cocktail is like $20.
Yeah, so I was like, man, this night is such a bougie night.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, had to do what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Sometimes you have to treat yourself. I feel like I used to do that a lot when I was really young. Like in my 20s, I was treating myself all the time, and now I'm like, my treat is Postmates, which is annoying because it's too expensive. But I can't remember what else I did this week, but all I know is we had our little girls' night and then ended the night with Kadar and Langston. But
at my house,
at your house, we went to a variety show, which had mostly comics, but there was some variety.
There was some variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was free, so, you know.
But I honestly, for a free show, it was amazing because like you could kind of just like walk in, and it sounds like it's something that they were wanting to start doing more frequently. Cute little outdoor spot. The actual restaurant was closed, so it was like a restaurant by your house, and that was actually closed. But then there was like the patio area that they opened for the event, which it was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super chill. It was like a very much a neighborhood event.
And then there was like some, I don't know, interesting performers. There were some clowns.
Yeah, there were some clowns that were dressed like they were supposed to be like French chefs. And they were dressed just basically in only aprons with no back. Yeah,
they had like the whole top of the outfit was a chef outfit, and then no pants.
And they were wearing like thongs,
a jock strap or something.
Yeah, but the cheeks were out.
The butt cheeks were out.
Yeah, and they were just, it was kind of like slapstick comedy almost. Like they were just demonstrating how to make certain dishes and like playing around with the food, kind of. And they were just I mean, it was kind of funny, but they were fine. And then there was a puppet girl. The mood changed.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that did this like really serious puppet show. But I thought like we were still in jokey like mood. So there was no transition. And it was like not even marionettes. It was just like cardboard cutouts.
But
that like she had like drawn, and she had little pins to make like the parts move.
Yeah.
But it was like her face behind the puppets was serious the whole time. And so I was like, none of this is a joke. Oh shit. And so there were certain parts that I thought like, that's gotta be like part of to be funny, right? And then no.
But really it wasn't.
It wasn't a bad like performance piece. I just thought it wasn't really like the right vibe for
it didn't really fit in.
Yeah.
And then we went back to my house and did some tarot readings because it was a full moon. You know how we like to do our tarot readings on a full moon.
We do. That's kind of all we did.
Yeah. Listen to music. We ate pizza.
But yeah, that was our week. I'm Kirsten.
I'm Allie.
And you're listening to
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for ADHD women and girls.
We're in March when this nonsense, man. When this drops, it will be March.
Yeah, it's February 27th currently, but this is our first March episode.
Yes, and March is going to be all about
Women. And we are trying to be intersectional about it. So in our first intersectional part, why not be selfish and talk about ourselves?
Yeah. So specifically, we want to talk about ADHD in women because it is different than men. And I think a lot of women can relate to getting a super late diagnosis because we're overlooked and it doesn't present itself the same. So we kind of just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. Actually, this very episode was requested by one of our listeners.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So one of our listeners suggested this episode to us, which I don't know why we hadn't thought about doing it specifically because it's literally the topic or like it's kind of our niche, right? Like
I feel
ADHD,
like we have
women,
talked about it though.
But not
doing
in
an episode.
a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this listener said, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on ADHD/autism as an adult and as female. And they said, I saw a validating TikTok about early diagnosis being a privilege, and many women are self-diagnosing as adults because they didn't display traditional symptoms as children.
Mm-hmm.
And doctors don't really take them seriously because they made it to adulthood just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, I think that is literally us.
Yeah, we can relate like hardcore to that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, what is ADHD?
So ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And in the past, it was differentiated from ADD.
But we don't say that anymore.
We don't say that anymore because this term was used in the DSM, the diagnostic manual for psychologists that's like used predominantly in the US. This was like the 1980s differentiation, but now they kind of put it all into the same umbrella of ADHD. So calling it ADD, you don't need to do that anymore because there's like 3 different types of ADHD.
Okay.
Which are the predominantly inattentive presentation, the predominantly hyperactive impulsive presentation, and then combined. And I don't know if that's the same 3 that you found in your research.
It is.
Okay. Well, that must be it then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, I have to say as a disclaimer, we literally, like the last 20 minutes, we were re-recording it because we thought
we were talking the whole time, but it was not recording. And honestly, that's very on brand for this episode.
on brand for the ADHD girlies.
girlies at it again.
But this now it's going to hopefully be a little more organized than it was the first time.
So inattention, the inattention part. This means a person may have difficulty staying on task, remaining focused, staying organized, and this is not because they're defiant or a lack of comprehension. It's just because of the disorder,
the ADHD.
That ADHD crazy. So in the inattention symptoms, like this is just all the symptoms that go with this particular part of ADHD. People may overlook or miss details with their schoolwork or work or other things. They may have difficulty keeping attention during tasks or conversations. They don't seem to listen when being spoken to directly. They find it hard to follow through on instructions or chores or duties in the workplace. They may start the task but then lose focus. They may have difficulty organizing tasks and activities. They may avoid tasks that require a lot of mental effort, like homework or completing forms or anything like that. They might lose things a lot that are necessary for certain activities like school and stuff. They might be easily distracted. They might be forgetful in their daily activities, and especially keeping appointments. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's like literally me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, I think everything that has been listed here
It's like check the box. Yeah.
Is me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. and then the other one is hyperactive / impulsive. So this has like two parts.
mm-hmm.
So the hyperactive is, like people that struggle to sit still. It's hard to put on the brakes. You have trouble waiting in line or holding back. Oh, okay. And then we get into like impulsive. So then you have like trouble holding back impulses to act or speak. You're fidgety. You feel like you have to be on the go. You have like a little motor inside of you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who struggle with impulsivity tend to have negative consequences for these behaviors, like hasty comments and rash decision making. So yeah, we'll get into like our own personal stories with this, but like we both really relate to both of these, I think, because the third one is combined, and you could be combined. So do you think you're combined or one or the other?
I almost feel like I'm just impulsive, like not really the hyperactive part.
No, but I mean like inattentive.
Oh,
because you can be combined.
Yes.
The combined presentation is combined inattentive or sorry.
Oh.
So hyperactive impulsive is under the same category.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So then there's like inattentive, hyperactive impulsive, and then combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm definitely combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too for you and me.
Yeah. For both of us.
For both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's executive functioning or dysfunctioning in the ADHDers case.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that related to our listeners' comment. I first heard about this term through TikTok.
Wow.
Like TikTok has been really validating this kind of stuff, honestly.
Yeah, for me too.
Like I think I've known for a long time that I have ADHD, but like it's just to get all the personal stories from everybody that's like it's so validating. But I've learned a lot of things, like what is executive functioning. So executive functioning involves your frontal lobe of the brain. And this is like the self-management system of the brain and mostly unconscious operations. So this would include initiation of tasks, focused and sustained attention, alertness, processing speed, emotional regulation, and working memory, which is like your memory, like your immediate memory. So like if you can memorize like 10 numbers at once, for example, and self-regulation. So like I think this is another one where all of them, check, have struggles with. So executive dysfunctioning, me.
Me too. I gotta say.
Yeah. So there's that. But I think that the problem is, and this is what we want to talk about, the problem is a lot of girls, young girls, were not diagnosed because for the longest time it was considered like a hyperactive little boy's disorder.
Yeah, and also all the studies and the testing and stuff were particularly done to boys, not girls.
Like young boys. And because of the hyperactivity manifestation of it too, it was like...
It's more apparent.
Yeah.
If the boy is hyperactive and also not focusing, it's like, oh, okay, well, they definitely have it. But if a girl is not focusing, but they're not hyperactive, it's not as obvious.
Yeah.
In little girls. Especially too, because there's also something to say about how girls are expected to behave a certain way.
Yeah, so it's like socialization. Like that's a big part of it, and I think that wasn't considered in the earlier studies of it.
Yeah,
it was
it's like boys will be boys, but girls like were expected to act a certain way.
Yeah, and so in some cases, in some of the things that I've read, like women had to mask more. And if you know about masking it's a term used for autism too. But like, masking to fit into society, like masking your personality, masking like those parts that don't exactly fit in. And I think that women are conditioned to be a little more that way than men are, because men are encouraged to almost have like a scientific brain. Like men are encouraged, like little boys are encouraged to like, oh yeah, figure this out, like learn how to use this tool, or like do a little Lego science experiment. But girls are like encouraged to just make believe.
Yeah, there's a lot to say for that.
Yeah.
So I actually read that most women with ADHD get a diagnosis in their late 30s or early 40s.
Yeah, I mean,
like that's the average.
That makes sense, though, because it's based on the current research.
Mm-hmm.
And the current research is these women that are just now realizing it. And maybe also they're older. They're the ones that can afford healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time you're in your 40s, like you probably can afford, hopefully can afford healthcare.
So that's why like young adult women maybe aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a thought, but
I mean, we're going to talk about our own personal stuff, but I didn't think about having ADHD until a couple years ago.
Okay, well, I was different.
Yeah,
but you also didn't think about like your mental health until later on.
I didn't
at all.
No,
which is weird, but I don't know. Also, not that weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, women with ADHD, they may be more anxious or depressive. Like that can be a symptom for them, whereas it's not necessarily a symptom found in boys or men.
Mm-hmm.
They might have low self-esteem, chronic stress, difficulty with social interactions. Also, something interesting is I read was symptoms of ADHD might be heightened by hormonal changes, like if you're on your period or if you're pregnant or if you're going through menopause. It can make it worse. And then other common conditions with ADHD in women include tics, eating disorders, and fibromyalgia, which is interesting because one of my friends just told me, we had this long 2-hour conversation about ADHD because she has been diagnosed and everything.
But was she diagnosed earlier or later in life?
Earlier. Well, no, sorry, no, later. She was just diagnosed.
Oh, like recently?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
Within like the last 2 years.
Okay, we need to do a part 2 where we interview our friends about this.
Yeah, but she just got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. But she just got diagnosed with ADHD like 2 years ago.
Oh, gotcha.
And then recently, within the last couple months, she just got diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Oh, okay.
And it said that it's just really common for women with ADHD to also have these other conditions.
What is fibromyalgia?
It's when
I've heard of it before.
It's when you're in pain. I think like your joints hurt. Let me look it up. It's a chronic disorder that causes pain, tenderness throughout the body, as well as fatigue and trouble sleeping. So I think the main thing of it is you just get this random pain in your body, and they can't really explain why it happens.
Oh shit!
But I guess that is common with women in ADHD. Like they go kind of.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I think that we're easily exhausted because our brains are going a mile a minute all the time. Like there could be some like genetic predispositions that are similar.
Yeah, my research was just saying like females might need different treatment than boys because some of it is like based on hormones and, just different symptoms.
Yeah, and I think that like no matter what, we're going to be socialized differently. So like I have like a little quote that says like we can't fit into traditional gender boxes as women with ADHD because these tasks are assigned to women that requires the executive functioning skills, which is like scheduling and all of that shit. That's normally like traditionally a woman's role, which is why like a lot of women with ADHD, we're like not traditional. We can't be traditional women.
Yeah. It's just not. Our brains don't do that.
Yeah. That's like the very area that we struggle in. Yeah.
Well, I know that we both have our own.
No, not me. What?
I don't have it.
We
both have our own stories and experiences.
Sounds like a you problem.
Okay, Kirsten. You have it worse than me, I think.
I think I do for sure.
All right.
Like a you problem.
Yeah,
Allie.
sounds like a you problem though, Kirsten. But no, we both have our experiences.
Sure.
Okay, stop acting like you don't.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know you do.
I do.
I know.
Like, but yeah. So our point is like we have similar backgrounds with it, and we both haven't been formally diagnosed,
which is crazy to me.
Yeah, but it's also like it goes along with the facts that we were just talking about. Like we often slip through the cracks.
We're not even in our late 30s yet, so
we're not in our late 30s. So that's when we will get diagnosed.
Yeah.
According to
wait
the
until
facts.
when I turn 37.
Then that's
the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I definitely slipped through the cracks because of the societal stuff, but also because of the way we were brought up, because we both had brothers with dyslexia.
Yeah.
Which is like a more quote unquote severe developmental like thing that you have to nip in the bud. I feel like especially when it comes to like schooling, like, you gotta learn how to read.
Yeah.
You know?
Both of our brothers like needed that extra help in how to read and write and stuff. And that caused our parents to kind of turn all of their focus and attention onto our brothers because, you know, it's more apparent and dyslexia is a big deal, especially when you're young. So we kind of slipped through the cracks because people just weren't really paying attention to us. Like, you know, like not necessarily, I guess not paying attention to us is the wrong thing to say, but they just weren't like as worried about us.
They weren't concerned, yeah.
Because we were not dyslexic, basically. And like we could read and write. We
were functioning.
We like functioned fine. And, you know, that caused the adults to pay more closer attention to our brothers and get them more help, which is fine. I'm not upset.
Yeah,
but
I think also ADHD affects us more as an adult. Like if I think about it, like when you're a kid, any of that stuff can be chalked down to being a kid. You know, like a kid's gonna be hyper. A kid's gonna not know their schedule. You know, but like once you're an adult, then like you have to know that shit.
Yeah. And it's become really apparent to me as an adult now, like even in my 30s, I'm seeing it more than I ever have. And I hadn't really even thought about having ADHD until probably in my upper 20s, early 30s, because I didn't think, I thought that all of my symptoms were just normal symptoms for everybody. I thought it was just a normal thing that everyone goes through.
And I think that everybody does to a certain extent, but like once it becomes
a problem,
like a pattern, and like there are serious like detrimental things that happen in your life because of it. Like I try not to like get down on myself, but there are a lot of things where I'm like, shit, my life could, like, I know that I'm smart and I know that I'm capable, but like I know that because of this disability, like shit has hit the fan for me in a lot of different ways it's like easier for other people. Yeah. It makes me want to cry actually when I think about it. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel too. Like it's kind of like made me emotional too, because it's like all these things that I thought were normal and I just had like extra trouble with them. Yeah. It's not actually normal. It's like a condition that I have that I can't help.
And when you're a woman, you feel like I feel like as a man, you're like, okay, this is the problem. But as a woman, like you're more likely to mask it as a woman because you're like, okay, no, like this is basic shit. Yeah. You know?
And I just realized what masking was too recently. And, you know, when you're not being yourself and you're trying to hide that part of you, it takes a lot of energy.
But yeah, we had similar experiences, but like a little different because, well, you know what happened with me? And I didn't say this the first time. I had experimented with ADHD drugs.
Me too.
You did? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Like,
when?
In high school.
And at that time, it never occurred to you that okay.
No, because I took
much.
I took it. Yeah, probably too much, honestly, because I took it and that's the only time I could like get shit done.
Same.
But I thought that I also had other side effects that weren't normal, like not being able to sleep.
But I think that's with anybody that, like, even if you
It was, but I was a teenager and I was
don't
like,
know. Yeah, you don't know what, like, it's supposed to be like.
And I was just kind of like, oh, this is just to help people like focus and get shit done. Like I didn't really, I don't know. I always thought, because what it did was kind of make me a little bit hyper. But more energetic to get the shit done. But to me, I thought that meant I didn't have it. I didn't have ADHD.
Yeah. They say that, like, if it makes you, they say that it shouldn't make you hyper, but I disagree with that. I think that even people with ADHD, it can make you speed, quote unquote. Yeah. It's just the dosage.
Right. That's exactly what I think it was, because it wasn't regulated, obviously. I was just getting it from a friend.
Yeah, but I think I was overdosed. Like, not overdosed, but you know what I mean? Like, they gave me too high of a dose. Yeah. When I was young.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, it's just crazy because in high school, you know, I thought I was lazy. I thought I was just procrastinating because I didn't like school. And my mom was like, oh, well, you're making bad grades because now you actually have to study and you used to not have to study before.
Well,
and
that's
I'm
probably
like,
part of it.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I couldn't study.
Yeah.
I could not bring myself to study.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember taking Adderall like before a test, like the night before a test.
You're like,
and
this is the shit.
Staying up, studying, like
yeah,
doing shit. And I don't know, whatever, like there, and I'm still like that to this day. It's really, really hard for me to just sit down and like memorize or study something.
How do you work? Because you work from home. I want to know how you're able to do that because it's really hard for me.
Bad. Like,
but like how did you do it? Like when you were in customer service, like how did you do that?
Well, I didn't work from home when I was in customer service.
Okay.
I got my promotion when 2020 happened. So
okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the tasks I have at work, I literally wait until the last minute sometimes, and it's really stressful. And sometimes I don't get my task done on time.
But honestly, I think like the job that you have right now, it works for people with ADHD because you're a teacher. Like it worked for, like I've been reflecting on my life, and when I was a teacher, I was able to, when you can make your own rules, like you allow your own creative brain to like make the curriculum or like make the plan. Yeah. Basically, when you can make your own plan, then it works better. And I think that like you are in the right job for you. It's just like you're going to struggle with.
And like my boss has ADHD, like she understands.
She gets it.
Yeah, she gets it. But still, it's been really, within the last couple of months, it's been really, really, really hard for me to focus and get my shit done.
Okay, guys, buy us a coffee. If you like this content, we're trying to make this our job.
This is our ADHD brain for you right here. Buy us a coffee.
No, yeah. No, but the point is like,
I see how you connected it.
Yeah.
But at first I was like, that's so random.
Yeah, I think that's my problem is like my brain like jumps from one thing to another, and I just like don't explain myself sometimes, and then I don't realize that people don't understand unless.
But you're right. We want to have this as a job because it's easier for us and better for us. And I mean, yeah, it's just like I don't know what really made you think like, oh, I might have ADHD, but like
I don't think I did. So like when I was tested and I was like almost diagnosed, but I think I just realized I learned about the symptoms and I was like, all of these are me. And honestly, it might have been like one of my psychology classes. Like there was an impactful psychology class that I took in high school, and it might have been that made me like, whoa, like this
like
is
wait,
yeah. And at the time, like I think it was my junior or senior year in high school, so I was like 17 or 18, and my mom, well, I must have been 18. I don't know, because I think it was senior year. But my mom and I were in counseling for like other problems that we were having with our communication, and I wanted to get tested for ADHD, and they like gave a questionnaire to me and my mom just like about things that like ADHD questions. And then they also did this like computer test that was like they would put letters on the screen. And then you have to like tap things on the keyboard to match with the letters. But I felt like it was a trap. I feel like anybody would mess that up because of course you're just going to get like annoyed and then just press, I don't know. But in any case, I think it was just because the counselor that we had didn't have the right degree to actually diagnose anybody. And so I was never formally diagnosed, but she was like, yeah, like you have the symptoms of somebody with ADHD. And then in college, I went to just a family doctor and like gave them that, like whatever that doctor's notes were. And she was like, here's some Adderall.
Here you go.
And so I was prescribed Adderall in college.
Interesting.
And, yeah.
I've never been formally diagnosed. I've never been tested. Like I said, I've just been recently discovering this stuff because I started realizing the symptoms and stuff too. And I'm like, oh, so everyone doesn't feel this way. Like they might to an extent, but like this is crippling sometimes. And I was talking to my therapist actually, and that's what kind of triggered me to want to get tested, because she was like, Yeah, that's not normal. Like, you should definitely talk to a psychiatrist and like try to get
Do
diagnosed.
something about it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, so now I'm like learning even more and more and more. Like, even though I thought I knew stuff, I've been talking to like one of my friends with ADHD, and she's like, do you do this? Do you do this? Do you think about this? Does this happen? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, and it makes me feel better. Like, even if I don't want to go on, I don't know if I need medicine for it, to be honest. Maybe like every once in a while, it would be nice to like have the medicine to get something done if I need to get it done. But that's not my goal, really. I think my goal is just learning how to deal with it at this point, like having the tools to deal with it, figuring out, oh, I'm not crazy. Like, this is a real thing that
I'm going to tell you, as somebody that has like seen counselors as somebody with ADHD, I've gone through so many counselors that haven't been able to help me.
Really?
Because all they say, and maybe I just haven't gone to the right ones, but like all they say is like, they give me suggestions that are helpful, but it's like stuff that I've already figured out on my own. It's like download this app, or like make a list for yourself. And it's like, yeah, but I can't like stick to that ever.
Yeah.
I think maybe from a counseling like perspective, you have to have somebody that like really specializes in ADHD, or a life coach.
Yeah.
I've thought about that, like maybe a life coach, like somebody that would like keep me accountable would be more helpful than a therapist. Like, I have therapy shit to work through, but that's like maybe separate from the ADHD stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like from like 2018 until now, I've probably gone through like 6 different counselors, and every single one of them I've told that I have ADHD. So like they knew that I have ADHD, and like they weren't helpful to my ADHD. So even like a formal diagnosis wouldn't have helped that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just saying you might be wasting your money to get a formal.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to get tested and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but if your insurance covers it, then why
if
not?
my insurance covers it, then I'm probably down. But yeah, I think it's just validating. Yeah. Really, if anything else, it's just validating.
But
like,
if you know, you know. I feel like I know. Well, but my shit is maybe like just yeah. Like more like but yours is though too. Like
mine is too. The more I get to learn about like the different symptoms and everything. Like, I was telling my therapist, what made her be like, all right, you need to like get tested, was I struggle with tasks. Yeah, everyday normal tasks, doing the dishes, doing my laundry, picking up
executive function,
whatever. Yeah, I struggle so bad with the tasks that sometimes, this sounds dramatic, but sometimes I'd rather die.
No, I get
than doing the task.
I've thought about just being like,
like, I'm just gonna wither away in my bed rather than doing the dishes.
I feel that.
And now I was telling my therapist, I was like, she's like, what makes you finally do the dishes? And I'm like, I have to like,
if you see a cockroach.
Yeah, if I see a cockroach, that definitely helps. But I have to smoke weed. Yeah. I have to turn on my podcast, like a murder podcast of some sort, put my headphones in and just do that. And that's the only way I can get my dishes done. Yeah. And I have to like hype myself up like for hours before doing it. Like, I have...
That's something you need to think about if you're moving in with your partner, because me and my partner argue about dishes all the time.
I'm sure.
And like, but something that helps me, and this is only because like the last week, basically, I've been like good about my dishes, but what's been helping me is just to make it part of the routine, either the nightly or the morning routine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so like before I start anything. Yeah. Like, well, yeah, a lot of people say like do it before bed, but I am too lazy to do that before bed. I just want to sleep. Yeah. So like for me, it actually works to just do it in the morning before I cook my breakfast.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Today I did it because I needed to fill up my animal's water bowl and like, it's like this big thing that
and there's no room.
I can't do it unless the sink is clear. So I was like, ugh.
Well, that's how I feel, is like I really like to have like one thing in my morning routine is I have to eat breakfast.
Me too.
Like, and sometimes it'll just be cereal, but like I do like to cook eggs or something for myself. And then if the sink is full, it's just like gross and stuff. So sometimes in the morning, the past week I've just been doing all the dishes in the morning. Yeah. And it is hard.
And I just thought like I must just be lazy, or I must just hate this extra. Like I'm just not a person who enjoys to clean.
Yeah.
But like it shouldn't be that hard. Like
no.
My therapist was like, it should not be that hard just to do the dishes.
I mean,
and I was like, really?
Allie, like just from somebody that I know myself, like I think you definitely have ADHD. Just like knowing you, like your tendencies, like you're late. You're a late girly. Like you have trouble with time, like
time management.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton. Like, there's so many things that I'm realizing. Like, oh, probably because of ADHD. Like, I just never thought of it before.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. I mean, I think I'm in a place where I'm kind of in a crying for help place because I don't know what to do. Like there's an Adderall shortage, like not even just Adderall, but like a lot of ADHD medication there's a shortage all over the country because people have been overdiagnosed with it or overprescribed it and it's gone. Like I haven't been able to get my prescription since August of 2022.
Damn.
Yeah. And like if you live like maybe in like Rancho Cucamonga, you can get it, but you can't get it in LA.
Wow.
But so I don't know what to do about that. And I haven't had like any counselor that's been able to help me. And maybe that's my own shit that I need to work out, but I need somebody to like teach me how to work that out.
Yeah. Well,
and teach me something I don't already know.
Right. I know. That's the thing is like I too have like figured out ways to kind of trick my brain or, you know, just ways of like cleaning that makes me do it or
like
not
more
get
fun.
Yeah. And that's fine. But I know there's more that we can do. Like, I know there's more that we can trick our brain into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think maybe it would look like a community type thing or like, I think I would have to see a counselor that like has struggled with ADHD themselves to really get it, or like really has a lot of experience with people in my demographic.
Yeah.
Or our demographic, because we're kind of same demographic. So yeah,
it's rough out here.
I think that it would have been fun if we had asked some of our friends. So here's what we'll do. If you guys liked this episode, if you related to it in any way, please reach out to us, and we would like to share your stories anonymously, or if you want to share your name, you can, because normally we do segments, but we didn't this time. And next episode, we will share your stories, because I think that this is going to be like, it's one of our themes. Yeah. And it's going to be like an ever-present, thingy-mabob for us.
I mean, that's kind of like the theme of our podcast in general, because another symptom is hyperfixating.
Yeah.
Which we both do a lot. And I know for me, I get on a subject and I have to know everything about the subject. I have to. Yeah. And I cannot stop until I research everything. And that's kind of like the premise of our show is we get on a subject, we get interested in something, and then we just have to like research it and talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like, hyperfixation girlies. If you didn't know that from the beginning, but that's like been our whole thing the whole time. Yeah. When we were like conceptualizing this podcast in the first place, we were like, this is our niche. Cause,
like, what do we like to do? Like, we just like to learn shit about random shit. Yeah. Like, yeah.
So, hit us up.
Yeah, write to us on our Instagram, DM us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, pod.
We would love to hear your stories.
Yeah, like especially if you are a woman who got diagnosed later in life.
Yeah, or even earlier in life. I would like to hear that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be rare, honestly.
Yeah.
So, if y'all are out there, hit us up.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. We're here with you. We also don't know what to do, but at least we can talk about it. Hey.
Yeah.
Love you so much.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.